Hi guys, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about series that I won't be finishing. Now, a couple of them do have qualifiers, so let's just start off with it. First up, I have the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I debated back and forth whether or not I was going to read the last book, Kingdom of Ash, for quite a while. If I do read it, likely, I'm not even lying, it'll probably be to hate read it. But really, I just hate about this one. I just wanted it because it had Merwald's artwork in the cover. I could give a shit about Kale. I can't damn stand Kale. I don't want to read his story. And the books have just, for me, been getting progressively worse. So I just didn't even want to see it. I've heard a lot of people complain about the last book and that, you know, there were blatantly things ripped off from like Lord of the Rings movies and all kind of other such crazy shit. And like, I'm good. Like I said, if I read it, it'll be to buddy read it or to hate read it. But right now, it's not looking good. Next up, I have the, whatever the hell this little series is. It was like stalking Jack the Ripper and escaping Houdini and finding Dracula and what the fuck ever. These books are bullshit. I'm sorry, but they are. This one, I couldn't even get through this. It was a buddy read. You see it's all taped up. I abandoned it. It was like, sorry guys, I'm not taking one for the team on this. This is shite. I can't no. The main character in this book, who is supposed to be in some kind of apprenticeship with her uncle, who is a mortician or some kind of scientist. She basically wants to be a doctor or a mortician or one of those. I forget. At either rate, I was already thrown off in like the first couple pages where she described a dead body is smelling like chicken, and I was like, and then after that, she's just completely stupid in the way in which she's attempting to catch the killer. And later still, someone gets like their head cut off, and she like ties her scarf around their neck and goes, well, if I'd have been there a second earlier, I could have helped. What was you gonna do? It's not a wound. It's severed. You can't tape it back together with a silky band-aid, lady. What the fuck? They're ridiculous. I can't do it. This is one of the ones that has qualifiers. This is the Dark Hunter series by Sherilyn Kenyon. Now, this is one of my favorite series, but the later ones are kind of crap. The last three, I think, were regurgitations of the book prior to those. So, the events in the like, 4th and 5th book from the last ones, the events from those two books were like spread up, told from a different point of view, and then mashed together again, kind of out of order or in a different order in the previous 3 books in large portions, to where like you barely get any story in the new book, and it's like 3/4 of it is just regurgitation of the shit I read already in 2 books. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, not even like parts we missed. It's like some of it is literally the same exact scenes and shit. I'm like, you could at least show me a part I didn't fucking see before I want to read this shit again. And so Stygian, I'm not sure how you say it, is the last one released, the latest one. I'm not sure how good that one is, but the one before that, which is the last one I had to read to catch up to Stygian, I feel some kind of way about, because she put in characters from her paranormal romance series, her historical romance series, that she wrote under a totally different pen name, and she tied that in together, and to me it seems like they're, at this point, it's just like for money. You're not even giving a fuck what you're putting on paper, you're just selling books to make money, and that kind of pisses me off and it disappoints me, because I really love this series. I've been reading this series for like 10 fucking years at this point, and to like give me something that I've already read after I've been waiting like a year, 2 years, however long for the next book. Like, I just paid like $30 to read something I already read, and then on top of that, later on, you're tying in stuff from a series that's not even supposed to be written by you. It's a different pen name. Like, that just seems very gimmicky, and it's like, hi, now you gotta go read my other books. Like, well, It's not even an Easter egg. Like, you flat out just pulled whole ass characters and I don't like that. I don't like that. Here's another urban fantasy paranormal romance series, which is the Black Dagger Brotherhood by J.R. Ward. This series, like, there were very few in, like, the first 6 or so that I liked them. There was one that was my favorite, which is, Fuck. This is my favorite one. How do I not know his name? Sadist. Damn it. Sadist book, which was written in 2006, mind you, is my favorite of the series. And then after that, it's like characters I really didn't care about, like Butch, who was the human cop who got turned into like the vampire thingy later, and I was just like, man, we milking it now. We just turning people so they have a romance story. Never mind the fact that I didn't like him when he was a human character, so I'm really not gonna like him now. And the romance that was hinted at, and that it was supposed to be one of those things like you get glimpses of the romance of like the first 3 books like building up, and then they finally get their own book and you're excited. But I didn't care about their romance back then because I didn't care about either one of them as a character, so they got together. It was just a lot of that. And then, for instance, like Wrath the King got another book later on. It's like we're recycling through characters who already got a story, and I just kind of lost interest. Plus, it was another like the series, which is back and forth point of views between the good guys and the bad guys, and then like the bad guy ones just bore the shit out of me to the point that I just flat out like skim them or skip them, and I'm like, I don't care about this shit. So like, it's not like in the Cheryl and Kenyon ones. In these ones where the overarching plot is enough to keep me like intrigued, these ones I really only liked them for the romance. I didn't kind of like the plot that was going on in the back. So like Zadist, I loved him as a character. I loved his backstory. So I liked his book. But the background thing with the little minions people I don't give a fuck about that shit. Then there is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. This book was such a big fucking disappointment to me that this is now a noun. Like, I'm sorry, it's not a noun. It's like an adverb. Verb is what you do. It's verb. Now, I like when books like disappoint me greatly when I was super hyped for them, I now say they flame in the misted me. There's no greater disappointment than what the hell I got from this book. So, Flame in the Mist is supposed to be, what they describe it as like Mulan meets 47 Ronin, and I was like, bitch, yes, because I love Wrath of the Dawn, yeah? So, this book came out. I got it in a book box. I'd already had a pre-order, so I got it, I think in Fairy Loot or Owlcrate. I think it was in Fairy Loot. So I canceled my pre-order, got this and a bunch of merch, and was super happy. Started reading it immediately and was like, dog, what the shit is that? Why? Whoa. So, the main character is on the run, dresses up as a male to join one of their, like, gangs to hide out from the people that are trying to kill her. During the course of this, like, hiding out, she keeps saying, like, how smart she is, how intelligent, how, like, great of a tactician she is, and all this other shit, and she's not any of those things. She keeps doing dumb shit immediately after they tell us how smart she is, and it's like, wait a minute, bitch. I just couldn't get with it. Not only that, but they used that one stupid trope because she was dressed as a male for, like, the majority of the book. It wasn't, they didn't give it up halfway through the book. It was, like, for the majority of the book, and then at the end, here came this romance with her and this other character who now all of a sudden, oh thank God, I was worried, I was feeling things for you when you were dressed as a dude, and I just was like, oh shit, I'm so glad you're a bitch. Like, then I have And I Darken, and the next one is, I don't fucking know. Now I Rise, and then the last one is Exploding Pomegranate. I don't know what it's called. There's an exploding pomegranate on the cover. For why, I don't know. Really, like, I expected there to be more magic in this. It's like historical retelling, which is fine. I thought it was going to be fantasy. It's really not. The book is not bad. It's just, if I want to read like historical YA, I want it to be fantasy. I'm really not a historical, like, fiction kind of a bitch unless it's historical romance or historical fantasy. Just like historical fiction, it's really not my thing. Probably because whoever told me about it was like, yeah, it's the Dracula retelling. You said Dracula. You said Dracula, not Vlad Tepes. I like Vlad Tepes too, but I like Vlad Tepes when he's Dracula. I don't want to read about Vlad Tepes when he's just Vlad Tepes. It's probably very childish of me, but I had my mouth fixed. As they say in old country, I had my mouth fixed for vampires, and I ain't getting no vampires. On top of that, Vlada's brother Radu, ooh, he is such an annoying twerp in this book. I just cannot. I've heard he gets better in the second book, but not better enough to entice me to pick it up anytime soon. I picked it up. I was going to read it in September when I was doing Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Awareness Month because the cover's teal. And no, I couldn't make myself pick it up, not even for that. And I have PCOS, so it's a very, like, a near and dear thing to me. And that book, I couldn't fucking do it. It wasn't even that I was bored, but then I didn't like the pacing of the story. We started at birth with this one and then ended when she was like 16 in the book, and I'm like, I could have summed that up for me in one chapter. I didn't need all of that. So I don't know. I wasn't feeling it much. It's not a bad book. It's just like things I love in historical settings. What does it for me is usually like the characters and the plot. And the plot was like, you know what's going to happen. This is a Vlad Tepes reimagining. Like, it can really only go one way. It's kind of like when you read A Beauty and the Beast, you're telling, yeah, you can remix the shit out of it, but at the end of the day, it still follows a path, and you know where that path is ultimately going. Doesn't matter, like, if the destination looks a smidge different, you still know essentially where it's going. You might not know where in Germany you're going to end up in, but you know you're going to Germany. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just like, meh, it's not enough to keep me personally, because I'm not a historical fiction person unless there is, like, crazy. I just didn't mesh with any of the characters. Like, I liked Vlada because she was, like, violent and stabby, and I loved that. And that literally was it. That's the only thing I liked about the book. Then I have the Illuminate files. This one is another one with a stipulate. Maybe, but I've had Gemina for like a year now, and it's just still sitting over there, and I didn't bother to get Obsidio because I'm like, bitch, you ain't even read book 2. I think I just got swept up in hype, and I was like, yeah, I need the rest of them. But, like, I don't know. I didn't dislike it. I don't know why I just didn't pick up the second one. It's one of those things like the first book in the Grisha Trilogy, which, by the way, we'll get to that. I read the first book, and then I was like, oh, that's great. I'm going to read the second one soon. Second one, I've been looking at it constantly. I'm just like, meh, whatever. Don't know why. I didn't dislike the book. A lot of people didn't like it, but I really got a kick out of the formatting. I enjoyed that. But I think that's what a lot of it was for me, was the formatting. And I don't know. I don't even remember much about the stories. I think it's the corporate thing for me. Like, for me, there's nothing that really gets me intrigued about the whole, like, corporate intrigue thing. Like, the corporation is the big bad. Like, I don't feel much of nothing about that. Like, blow the damn building up then. End of the book. Fuck. I just don't ever, like, I don't get invested in that kind of story. Maybe it's why I never picked up book 2. Like, once it was like a thing with like the corporation, I'm just like, okay, I guess. It's not bad. It's just like with Anna Darkin. It's not my thing. Then I have Yuri Born by Claire Legrand. Now, don't start with me. A lot of people raved about this book, and for me, it was just meh. It was just meh. There's a lot of stuff that I just was underwhelmed about, and I think it could be because of the hype surrounding it, and everybody just told me constantly, you gotta read it, you gotta read it, you gotta read it. I wasn't into anything about it. I wasn't really into the romance. I only really liked a couple of the characters, because there's two different, it's two different things, and that timeline was kind of odd. I don't know that I liked it, and then the way it wrapped up at the end, it's like the book tried to be a lot of things that it just didn't quite get up to. It's like it fell just a little short of the mark. The hype was like here. The book was aiming for was like here, and then the mark was like here. It just missed the mark just a smidge, and it landed like somewhere in here where it needed to be here. I don't know with all the hand things if I'm making sense. I didn't like it much. I mean, I liked what it was trying to do. I just don't feel like it was very well executed. I don't know. I heard Sawkill Girls was fucking amazing, but I heard this was fucking amazing, and I just didn't like it much. It's just like, I read it and I was like, this is what y'all screaming and carrying on about? Okay. I can't even tell you what the hell the book's about now. There's like this kingdom, and they're like a millennia apart, 1,000 years apart, 100 years apart. I don't know. There's two different storylines, and at the end they kind of merge together a little bit. But was it like the king assassinated somebody? She like killed her husband or some shit. I can't even tell you because I don't remember. And I didn't read this that long ago. I'm just like, unless like somebody who I know of that was underwhelmed when they read this reads the second book and goes, bitch, oh my god, it got so much better. Which, to be fair, probably just has first book syndrome. It probably will get better. I just am gonna wait to see what other people say and see if someone didn't like the first book and they love the second book before my ass go spend some more money. Okay, so then I mentioned the Grisha Trilogy. There's also the Grisha Trilogy. I really like that fucking world. I really like that magic system. I really fucking hated Alina's ass. Oh my god, this bitch was dumb. Dumb. With a capital dumb. Like, I spent a lot of the second book going, ho, what is you doing? The first book, I liked the first book. I read it very quickly. I was into it. Didn't get why everybody was all like, wah, the Darkling. I didn't get that, but whatever. I liked the book. The second book, like, they'd blatantly tell you, like, ho, don't fuck with that shit. And she would go, poke. Don't poke the bear, ho. Poke. Bitch, quit poking the bear. Poke. Oh, fuck, he woke up. Well, duh. Like, obviously, there is no bear poking. But I remember getting that feeling of being very fucking frustrated with her because she was just stupid as shit. Not only that, but, like, she treated Mal like shit when Mal basically fucked himself over to have her back. And I just did, ooh. Ooh. So basically I'm going into King of Cigars having only read half of book 2 of the Grisha Trilogy and none of book 3, and I'm not going to. Like, I got to where Nikolai got introduced and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, book 3's about him? Sweet. I'll read that then. Yeah, so in that book you have this magic system where, like, everything is split up into different types of magic. Like, there are the heart renders and the other things I can't off the top of my head. Y'all know my memory sucks. I'm sorry. I do apologize. You have Alina and Mal, who grew up in orphanage together, and they were in the first book, and Alina got kind of pulled out of her regiment, and they saw something in her, so she got trained for the magic that she had, and then she basically got taken under. She got duped. She got made a jackass out of by the Darkling, and then she's still kind of low-key fiending for this fool, and it's like, what? And then on top of that, like, she continues to just, like, treat him out like shit. And I'm like, he abandoned everything that he had it pretty good, bitch. And he fucked this shit up to help you out. And you still just, like, constantly fucking this man over because you want to be a dumbass. Like, well, I don't let you be a dumbass by yourself. Go do that. Like, she just made so many dangerous and stupid choices. And it wasn't like Jude from The Cruel Prince / The Wicked King where she did dumb shit, but it was, like, for a reason. And you're like, I don't know that I would have done that, but I can get behind it. I see why you did it. Okay, cool. Alina would do shit, and it's just like, here this bitch go. Like, literally, I would read the book, go, here this dumbass bitch go again. I just, nope. I won't be finishing that. I'll be reading King of Scars and completely skipping. I might be lost as fuck, but you know what? It's okay. Lastly, though, last fucking Lee, I have Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. These shenanigans right here, I'm in the process of getting my thoughts together, like, actively. I've been kind of dreading doing it, so I put it off. But today I started writing out, like, my points for the review for this book. And just, holy shit. I can't even tell you what this book is about, because it's about a whole bunch of fucking nothing, really. So, everybody keeps calling it African Game of Thrones. There is nothing Game of Thrones is about this shit, except for, like, a lot of people died. That's literally probably it. There is some plot for the throne loosely towards the end, but the author did it in such a way that nobody gives a shit about the actual plot of this book. And so then to do that, you have built characters that nobody gives a shit about. So, and not only that, but the book ended in a way that I'm just like, well, that seems kind of wrapped up to me. It's like, I don't give enough of a shit to see what the hell's going to happen after that. I mean, everybody, what happened, so, I mean, what else? Then to come to find out, the next book is going to be basically a regurgitation of this from another character who's in this book, from one of their points of view. I'm good on that. Fuck that. No. Because you made the plot purposely so nobody would give a fuck about it. You made the characters had a really unpleasant place to be. So not only do I not give a fuck about, you know, the characters, I couldn't even give a fuck about the plot. Because they didn't give a fuck about the plot. You didn't give a fuck about the plot. You just want to tell your weirdo grimdark shit that wasn't even like, it just was like, it was kind of shiesty just for the sake of being shiesty. Like, it wasn't even, it didn't, I'm not going to get into all this stuff that's going into my review, but basically, like, I'm probably never reading anything by Marlon James, like, ever the fuck again, because I cannot mesh with that writing style, and this shit just fucked my mood, It took me a long time to read. It was just heavy and dark, and then for it to be heavy, I didn't get anything out of it at the end of it, and that is what I consider a waste of time. There has never been a book that I've read and just been like, I didn't get nothing out of it, because even if the book was silly, I got enjoyment out of it. If the book wasn't silly and it was dark, like, I enjoyed the experience. It was a good fucking book. Like, it fucked with my emotions, but it was a good book. It's like watching a thriller movie and you like thrillers. Like, most people don't like to be scared, but there's still that, like, that you get something out of that. I like dark stories. I did not like this. So, anyway, if you want to hear about that, sometimes soon-ish, my review for that will be getting put together. It's just taking me time to put my thoughts together because I'm trying to organize my thoughts without having to fucking read it again because I don't want to damn do that. That's not happening. So yeah, I will not be reading the other 2 books of these, and I don't want you to tell me the same story over and over again because I didn't like the story. Had the story been amazing, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's see that from another point of view. It'd be like you got a DVD. I used to do this, especially like the Mummy movies, and then you get it with the actors' commentary on it. So you watching it again, but you getting to hear them talk about the background stuff, and like, oh yeah, in this scene, I had said such to him right before, so he was pretty pissed at me. You can tell by looking at his face right here. That wasn't in the script. That was because he said so and so, and I called his mama a bitch. I mean, I didn't really do that, but I'm just saying that kind of thing. Like, but that's if I enjoyed the movie enough to like watch it again and hear the commentary, but I'm still seeing the same shit I just watched. I would do that with the Mummy. I'd watch the whole movie and then immediately after watch it with the commentary and then do it with the Mummy too. I don't want this again with the commentary from the other characters because I didn't like none of these motherfuckers. So that is a list of books. Oh, I forgot one, I think. You know what? It don't matter. It don't matter. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to keep an eye out for my Black Leopard Red Wolf review. Because I have things to say, Jasmine Master Style. Golly. That's it for this video, guys. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Oh, shit. I gotta go get my laundry out the laundry room. So I'll catch y'all later. Mwah! Love you guys. Bye.